Hello, fellow empath seekers and psychonauts, fellow old souls alike. Welcome. If you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. We'll see what the message here has to say today, along with little man here. Yes, you are so beautiful, you sexy, sexy beast. And you're rubbing up against everything. Can you come down? Can you come down? So we've been trying to get through this a few times, but he is just all up in your reading. So the scrolls have already been pulled. Come down, please. Do Bingo Dabber off TV. Here we go. Come on.
Crazy.
It is crazy. He is crazy, but he's a love bug. All right. If you would like to open up with me, you're more than welcome to. Take a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and honor of Old Souls. Thank you, Old Souls, for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in the aura of this day, whenever you decide to receive this. So thank you. So here are the scrolls that have come out. I haven't even had a chance to really look at them, dealing with little man, but he is a sexy beast. You know the drill. If anything stands out to you, please feel free to follow that versus my yammerings, but I do appreciate it. All right. Okay, so I'm getting the song Walk Like an Egyptian. I'm also getting the space of seeing something very, very friendly. There's two spirits trying to step forward. Maybe you've been sensing them. And they kind of come in tandem. So this could be spirit guides or a sense of parents, grandparents, or something along that lines. There's two of them and they come in tandem. Feel like if they are spirits, okay, exploring the wildness, there could be, you might be sensing them like almost like nightmares or sleep paralysis. But there's something that's coming in about your sensitivity. Your sensitivity to them, and I feel like they're being perceived a certain way, and it's being asked to be changed. Yeah, it's like noticing if you see something, corner of your eye, or you're having specific kind of dreams, is taking a moment to discern who you're dining with, and seeing if it's like the human fright or flight is correct, that they are some sort of vampiric energy. And realizing you can change forms to, how do I say this? By tuning into your emotional intelligence. You can notice if they're doing a dance to distract you. If your spirit guides are there with you, they also might be your spirit guides. And because there's two of them, it's like, well, where do I focus? Where do I focus? But when I come into this with the Aries one, it's in this diamond, this conversation with two heads are better than one. But these two heads are both irises of the eye. It could also be, I'm going to say, planetary people that have a fondness for you in this aura scroll coming through here. Sorry if that was like, excuse me, like it seems weird because it's, there's a discerning of people. When I say people, I mean energies that are incarnate in some sort of human or extraterrestrial human suit. And they're part of me, it's like I'm going off on these adventures. But it's leaving me with nightmares. And then, but I'm not really sure if it's a fear that I'm working through. Yeah, see, it is. It's unnecessary fear. Unnecessary fear. If you are sensing that these are spirit guides, people from your family that might be from other frequencies, but they're incarnate in something, a different kind of costume at this time. People that have passed on, and it feels like they might be, it might appear to be like shadow people, but they're not. It's just because of literally the lighting. Literally the lighting is creating this swoosh feel. I don't know. Swoosh. I'm going to leave it with swoosh. Yeah, there's some sort of illumination about it. Something about the lighting. Something about the lighting. Maybe it's the lighting of the room that you're in, sleeping at night. Some of you might be practicing on working in the dark specifically and slowly dimming the light until it's almost like there's no light, or working blindfolded. What's this top card? I hear you. See, even the underworld, where all things pause and begin again. It's like, I'm not afraid of the dark. It's almost, I'm going to say this kindly, like a codependency on physical sight as the trusted sight. And I'm not trying to diminish that. What I'm trying to do is enhance my other senses to also become trusted. So that if I'm in the dark, it's nighttime, or I'm creating an ambiance with specific kind of lighting that I'm finding comforts me perfectly, so that I can see at both times. Sorry, I'm not even on this camera. So I can see tandemly the tangible and with my third eye. And then it's through, because it's almost like, as if I may, it's like a monster coming out of the closet, but this really is like monster, my best friend. So there could be something about the way something looked. It's like thinking about how you might meet an alien, not from an energy. And I'm not even trying to use alien and like, oh, alien, but just another creature energy. Maybe it's, even something shamanic, and it looks different. So there's a little bit of hesitation. But I want to note, as it comes up, is that there's unnecessary fear regarding this. And that's what they're asking to change if there's some hesitancy. Because even here with the blind spot in illumination, it's almost like you might say, oh, I have a blind spot. Or the way I'm hearing it is, oh, I have a soft spot for bad boys. Or I have a soft spot for, wicked women, whatever the case may be. I don't even know. Those are horrible examples, but hopefully you know what I mean. Or I have a soft spot for people that have passed. Or it's like you always move into a house that's horribly haunted because you have a soft spot. You gravitate to it. It's because there's a gift there. Because the heart's connected to it. The heart's connected to it.
Louder.
The heart's connected to it. See, there's even like two different shades of what is that kind of bird? I don't know that I know the kind of bird, but you have these two spirit guides with you. There's also something about a bell coming through. See, it's your thoughts. It's your thoughts on something. It's like, instead of having the light switch of on off, illumination or blind spot, right? Instead of having this blatant duality, it's like putting a dimmer in progressively moving through that. Or maybe that's what that's how you're exploring. And as you feel this transformation and this change taking place within you,
make a noise.
You're not going to lie to yourself about your own super strength coming through. But you also know that there is, I can't get my words out. It's like stumbling blocks. There's going to be stumbles along the way. And I feel like in this moment, if I'm being very honest, I have a fear that I'm being deceived by what I'm seeing. And then that very thought of what I'm seeing, blind spots, illumination, what sense of sight am I using? Can I go to other ones to help me determine if something is being deceitful? Because I'm seeing, like, the classic, the little girl ghost or little boy ghost, and really that's not what it is. And it's up to me to decide to harness that skill to employ, but it takes time, and maybe that's the time you've been taking. And that's valuable time. Because there's something about that ambionic light, ambiance of atmosphere that best serves you, instead of it having to be this blatant turn on or turn off light switch. You might get to that, or also have like, you know how like a dimmer you can turn, but then you can also poke it and it goes on or off. And when you go on or off, it comes on to the last dial that it was set to. That's how it's making me feel. I hope this makes sense to someone or something. I apologize if it's all over. I'm not 100% sure. Let's keep going here. I'm going to grab 2 more of these cards here. I'm not sure if you can see that with, well, my mug's in the way, sorry. Belonging, House of the Night. So maybe this is happening in your dream state or in the spirit space of the subconscious realms, or you're just working with spirit. You have the High Priestess of Air and the High Priestess of Water. I keep hearing these are different versions of sight. It's the human attributes that we associate sight with seeing, but your energy sees. It senses, but it sees things. But the communication is a little bit different. This is very interesting. Very interesting. I feel like I might be trying to force something. Can I take a look at these?
Cheating.
Okay. So growth of energy has come through. What I'm hearing is that there might be people around you, even to a degree of collectively. Let's broaden way out. I'm not looking for a point person. What I'm looking for is either you've had experiences where it's like it appears that some people have been able to use cheat codes, like in a video game, to excel faster than you, if we must compare, or to this collective that seems to be working in a very integral way. Because this is the sensation I'm feeling. I have a lot of integrity being in this energy that it's not like, oh, I'm moving the tortoise in the hare, so that means the hare is cheating. This isn't about that. There's different skill sets. But amongst the turtle and the hare, maybe let's add another character that, we haven't been aware of that has cheat codes, like in the video games or whatnot, or knows a trick in tic-tac-toe, and they appear to be excelling, but then at the same time, if they are so excelling, it's like, well, then why are you bothering looking at me? And it's like, or trying to pursue me for something. And when I hear that, I'm getting the feeling of it's because they know you belong to a bigger. No, bigger is not the right word. You belong to, how do I say?
It's not easy.
No, sometimes it's not. It's either a school or an egregor, an energy, like, because I'm seeing it like a mansion or a school, a Hogwarts, call it whatever you want. And it says House of Night, but as each of this party of people step in, they become the light. That is what illuminates. Does that make sense? And it's like a growing, the dimmers now, it's like I've worked my way down through the dimmer. And now I'm able to do things in the light. And I mean like in like the light of day. Yes, in the light of day. And now it's like this connection becomes very large. There's something about spaceships, and I don't mean to use comical words, but they are what we have right now. Landing.
Idiotic.
Landing. Well, idiotic. It is what it is. So there is a growth of this. Okay. So, and as you maybe like in your subconscious states or in the spirit realms, wherever you feel that like the school of sorts is, and it doesn't have to be a school, maybe it's a university, maybe it's like awareness academia, a mystery school, or a mystic mansion of it doesn't even have to have all these fun words. It's just as though I'm aware, I'm a part of something bigger with other people. And with this illumination that happens, the growth of that light, it's like it's so bright that creates a blind spot. Like sunspots, you know, when something's so bright and then you close your eyes and you're like, I've been in the sun so long, and then you come into the house and it's like, I can't see anything. That's what it's making me feel like. And wherever you go to do this and work with these other energies, it doesn't have to be incarnate. That's why I keep thinking it's like I don't even want to give it the lore of mystery school, but it's something, maybe it's just something you're reading, material that you're reading. Okay, thank you. Throat Eye Express. Maybe you're like reading the Egyptian Book of the Dead, or again, it's also turning into an alien on me. It's something that wants to get your attention. If something wants your attention, I'm being asked to travel to emotional intelligence to determine if it's deceit. Use your energy. It's like being an empath, like a lawyer who's very intellectual might have somebody who works with them that's very empathically inclined, energetically sensitive inclined to kind of like source out the sight of intention behind something. I have no idea, if that makes sense. And maybe you are a lawyer of some sort. Is there something I'm not seeing? Can you sense it? And they can like de-thaw through this. Nine of Swords. Again, if these mean anything to you, please follow that. Oh, isn't that... Okay. What's on the bottom? The wheel. I'm going to put the wheel with this heart because I'm going to get to you in a second. Yeah, see, and even Temperance is over there. There is a large guard. It's like okay. This school of sorts where you belong, or this mansion of your mind. There's this large over-residing energy that ensures the intention of individuals coming in is intact. Okay, so it's like, and then you go on up here.
Please listen.
You also have access to ask this energy. Maybe this is a spirit guide. Maybe this is a deity that you're working with. Maybe this is whatever, something that you're working with. And I don't mean whatever, but I don't want to get caught up in the language because then I get all constipated and I get even more rambly than I normally do. But it's like you can ask permission from your teacher, deity, God, goddess, whatever the case is, to help you discern if anything is being deceitful, including you, if you're, and I'm going to say it harshly, but like, am I lying to myself about this person? Is there a red flag and I'm not listening because I want it to be real? I want it to be real. Because I feel like there's some space of illusions because you are, again, it's like if anyone's using cheat codes,
Terry.
They don't actually know how you've done it because I don't want to say like they skip steps, but they kind of did, right? Like they kind of did. They kind of did. And yet they're coming back to ask you about it. And that's a curious thing. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense. Yeah. So you can ask this energy entity. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee here because I'm telling you. Cheers. It's starting to get cold.
Buy me a coffee.
Oh my goodness. Thank you if you bought me a coffee. Old souls. Bunch of old souls having some coffee. Okay, back at her.
Wayne.
Oh, that's funny. When I just heard that Wayne from the Ghost Tube, I heard it very specifically first time. Hi, Wayne from Wayne's World. And it's like his ex-girlfriend that comes through and says, hi, Wayne. And it's like maybe you've broken up with an energy, or you've broken up working with something and they still just want to come around. And you're like, and I can't remember her name, but is it Stacy or Tracy maybe? And Wayne's like, we're done. We're over with. Like, get it through your head. I don't know, something along that line. So you might need to be stern enough. Yeah, to like having to reaffirm to them of like, walk away. Walk away. Okay, sorry. I want to come into this Ace of Pentacles and the growth of energy, because it's not going away. So I need to acknowledge it. See how they're both eggs, and we were talking about that, the blind spots and illumination. Something's being cracked open, the cracking of the cosmic egg of sorts. And wherever that's going to lead you is going to help you explore more. I don't even know how else to say that. And with the Seven of Wands, and now you know, like you have the Seven of Wands and this, oops, wrong camera angle, Seven of Wands and the Seven of Swords. There we go. And if those mean anything to you, follow that. But I'm seeing it like 7-7. It is a school. I'm telling you, there's some sort of like spiritual school here going on. Nope, thank you. I typically follow art first, but if the words mean anything to you or the traditional tarot meanings, please follow that. Somebody's graduating from something. I'm breaking free of my own paradigms and programs.
Touch.
I am not angry at them for existing. I'm not angry at them.
Male.
Yeah, it is. There's a male teacher specifically. With the High Priestess of Air, it's like I want to keep reminding myself that I belong. I belong. But I also want to know, it's like I think there might be somebody might have been having an experience with the underworld. Maybe it's psychopomp style, or helping people. No, that's not it at all. The underbelly of my own universal existence. The underbelly of my own universal existence. Yeah. It's almost like in the basement of this school of sorts. And I'm seeing, oh, so fun. I love it when they use fun, or, yeah, okay. In an episode of Bob's Burger, there's like a play going on at the school where they're one of their children is perhaps involved in. And then the other one, it puts on their own personal play, and it's in like the boiler room or something. And like the parents have to choose, and they go back and forth. It's very fun. Anyway, that's the way I'm seeing it, is that there's a space where I can go and like perform my own play, where I can pause and begin again from here. It's like that the dimmer thing. I can pause. I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to turn it up. Whatever this dial is for you. Maybe it's temperature. Maybe for you it's not a light dimmer, or whatever the case may be. But when you pop it or run program or stay here, when you put it back on and you begin again from whatever the last temperature was, from the last dimming of lightning or lowering of this ambiance, this atmosphere, because I feel like you have this ability to wander the universal landscape of sorts, or you're treading into that world more, but you also look at the underbelly of things, because that is a full awareness. This is not about what I like and what I don't like. This is about having an awareness. And with the wheel here, with the aura, the heart one, sorry, because I'm seeing something work.
Torturer.
I'm not getting feeling of torture, but maybe it has pulled at your heart, especially with whatever maybe has happened over here, and it maybe has like it put you off for a little bit or something like that, or it stopped you. And I know, just maybe you've had it's like watching scary movies, and then it messes with your psychology when you're older. And I say that specifically as an example of myself. And you have to work through that. with a little bit of force. You have to draw the line in some sort of sand to say, I'm actually not afraid. These are all upside down. Okay. These little birds, the lime green. So also something about limes have been coming through. So I don't know if there's something in regards to Healthland as a food. Maybe you like limes, lime in the coconut. Where else am I going with this? Some sort of citrus flavoring. Something about calluses. I'm also being handed something down here. There's a reindeer with... Okay, so the reindeer has... I don't know if you can zoom in, or maybe I'll try and bring it all the way up to you if that... Okay, so this reindeer has antlers that look like vines or the veins of the tree of life. There's also another older gentleman here. I'm playing with them. So maybe you might be, it might be your masculine energy because there's males here. And there might also a younger energy. So you might even be wandering into a teacher role while still being a student, because it feels like, again, that space of in maybe one topic or area or working with energy, you are
only for
a
you.
teacher, but you're still a student in other spaces. No, okay. And while that is an example, what just came through is being out on like a playground or something. And there's chaperones. There's chaperones. Okay. So the scrying mirror has also come out, and that brings me into the underworld. Not because the scrying mirror does that specifically, but again, it's something that, yeah, see? There's some sort of wisdom. And every time I come over to this throat I express, it has this vampiric kind of deceitful, but yet emotional intelligence. It's almost as if I may, there's rituals. And I'm going to say which is coming through, because you have the power to pause, replay, revisit as much as you like. And if you haven't already, thank you so much for like, sharing, and subscribing, and for making it this way through. So scrying, mirror, projection, oracle, wisdom. Again, take in what you see, sense, and feel versus me. And the hydromancy illusion. Another portal. Another portal. So what I'm getting when I wander over here is that someone, or maybe you're sensing part of the collective energy, this underworld, this underbelly, you're aware that there are other rituals happening differently than the way you're opting to learn, but you're aware of them. So, okay, it's bringing me back to that Bob's Burgers where there's, you know, the school play is happening up top, but down below there's a one-man improv. And they draw people down as they're going into the play. They're like, oh, you're heading in to watch this play? I think it was like Working Girl is the play that the kids were doing upstairs. And then downstairs they were doing Die Hard. And as the people were going into to see Working Girl, they're like, oh, hey, do you want to watch a real play? I don't even remember the words, to try and get them to go downstairs. Do you see what I'm saying? What you might be aware of? Maybe you've been a part of it. Maybe this is what you've worked yourself out of. Maybe this is the change that you've made and you've had to do something, feel something. Because I want to be careful not to get caught in the duality of light and dark, because they are really together. They are together. How you interact with them is either nightmarish or a well of dreams. But either way, it's a well. It's a well. So every so often, like, sorry, when I come into the illusions and this, it's like, if you're being given a ticket to say, would you really want to go and see this play? Like, do you really want to, like, you really want to go watch Die Hard? You don't want to watch Working Girl. Again, it's not about masculine, but it's just different things. And you're like, no, not taking that ticket to ride. Okay. Any closing out messages here for my old souls? Empath, Seekers, and Psychonauts. I keep putting these decks. Book of Knowledge. It's like having a recipe book taking notes, again, in school, something, a mystery school, whatever the case may be. What else is there? Okay, there's some sort of mystical school that you're a part of, and it might be happening in the multidimensional nature. It might be something that every so often you are, I don't want to use the word downloaded, because I feel like you actually go up to it. So whether you're being received by multidimensional DNA, information, this, that, or the other, but it's something along that lines. Yeah, and sometimes you got to take some gambles, right? You got to take some gambles in what suits you best. But it's the heart gamble. Thank you. It's the heart gamble. It's like, do you take the ticket to go watch the other show type thing, or go in the basement? Wise seeing, wise action. You know, it's like but I just heard, like, in the back of my head, the heart wants what the heart wants. But coming back into like that sight, it's like, okay. But I'm also going to take 5. And is it just curiosity? I want to cure curiosity. Is it, there's not a whole lot of information, is it being clouded for a reason, for a mystical reason? Okay, so even with, I'll bring these up for you as well, because I want to share this with you. There's dice, and I think those are like dominoes, even if they're like, but that's the way I'm seeing them. It's like when you're like, oh, do I want to, to have this experience, whatever the case may be, or take this course in this school of sorts. My heart wants what the heart wants. It's like, that is not a solid foundational reason. It's something to acknowledge, and then take 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes to go through my other senses of knowledge, of sight, and determine, wise seeing, wise action, if it's really what I want to take flight in. Knowing you'll always be watched over regardless, right? You're always going to be watched over as you take the wheel. Okay, final cards here. Thank you so much for being here with me. This has been a great reading. All right, we have here destiny, sacrifice, and guidance.
Tell me about it.
I kind of feel speechless for a second, so I'm going to listen to that while I bring these up to you. And maybe it's because there's no words for me to say. Maybe there's nothing more I need to say. You are in line. Well, see, I got to say something. You are in line with your destiny. You've made your sacrifices, and you will continue to make sacrifices with all your senses having a say, and knowing you are constantly guided, not guided in a luring way by any of these other energies that are trying to draw your power towards their something or other. You have many teachers, and they are balanced, masculine and feminine energies. You might be capturing things in your book of destiny. And if you have regrets, I want to ask, like, Can you go back and rewrite them? An addendum, add on to them what you've learned. You go back to that page and you add an insert and you say, this is what I learned from that action, from that thought, from that experience. And then I turn the dimmer, dreams and nightmares, dreams and nightmares. And then I can speak my expressions. I'm going to leave it here because I feel speechless now. Thank you for being here with me, old souls. Until next time. Bye. This is darn near incredible. I almost don't know what to do with myself. 27. I am expressive. Your mind is wide open and tolerant, compassionate towards all ways of life, valuing freedom to expression and want to improve the conditions of people in the community, country, the world at large, or other areas of existence. Gorgeous.